Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Speed Gaming 4, and welcome to Final Fantasy 6 Worlds Collide Randomizer, the weekly race that we have here. And boy, we have a treat for you this fine evening. Four of the best of the best of the best out of Megalixir here have come to do battle in this swashbuckling adventure that we're about to have. And joining myself, I'm Retrophile TV here in the booth, is the one, the only, Drinks Glue. What's going on, Glue?
Ahoy there, my matey. Boy, what a special treat we have tonight. We have four of the top runners in our community going head to head, a four-way race between 12 total of our Mega Elixir players going at it, and boy, will this be a sight to behold. This is the best of the best, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, the highest level, friends, so kick back, get out a notepad. This is going to be a good one to probably learn what the route's going to be looking like at this point. And I'm going to go ahead and give our racers here, looks like they're all ready at this point, give them the 60-second countdown. We'll go from there. While I'm doing that, Drinks Glue, why don't you talk about Ultras League 6? What's new? What should we expect? And maybe about a little bit about how people have got to this point. Like, what does a Mega Elixir runner mean?
Well, we're some of our runners, we have lived there quite a while. This is where Sulfur lives. This is Sulfur's island that he occupies. Double Down as well, but we have two newcomers to the Mega Elixir division this season, and that is Golden Shocker and Schwantz. For Schwantz personally, this has been a multi-year journey to finally break through that glass ceiling and reach the promised land. So really, we may see some different things out of Golden Shocker and Schwantz. This is their first rodeo. They're not sure what to expect. Whereas Zelfer and Double Down, they're grizzled Mega Elixir veterans. They know what it takes to stay here. In Zelfer's case, he knows what it takes to win here. So we may see some various plays based on what's on the top of your screen, as opposed to what's on the bottom of your screen.
We are 30 seconds away from start, friends. We're almost there. And looking forward to this one. I think it's going to be a very close race across the board here. All super skilled runners, like we've said at this point, and anything can happen.
Yeah, we'll be getting going here in just a moment. One thing you'll notice what all runners do is they will immediately take control of the airship, and they were probably going to park it somewhere and do quite a bit of looting, because in Worlds Collide, you don't start with any weapons, you don't start with any items. You do start with randomized abilities, but you want to go out and looting and search the 7 Seas to see what you can come across. And if you can find something you can wear, that's fantastic. If not, ultimately what you could do is you can find some loot to sell, and once you sell the other loot, you'll visit some shops. Do a little bit of trading, and then just something to get yourself going, so you can start taking on the challenges in front of you.
Okay, the starting gun is away, friends. I'm very excited to see what this one's going to be having in mind for us here, where we're going to have, who we're going to start with, and what do we got. And as Drink Clue said, we have 12 people. This is the official seed for week 1 of Ultras League 6 for Mega Elixir. All 12 people run the same seed, but for us and for our enjoyment here, we have our 4 runners here that we can watch and see how they do across the board.
Yeah, Ultras League is 8 weeks long. So you run a total of 8 seeds, but only 6 of your highest performing standings will count towards the standings. So your 6 top finishes are what matters. So really, this is the part of the season where we may see our runners take some chances. They may go off the beaten path, just knowing, hey, I got to beat 12 other runners to get the most possible points for my performance. So maybe I take some chances now, because later on, once you kind of know where you're about in the standings and where you may fall, you're less likely to do so if you have less margin for error. And we got a Yumaro Go-Go.
Oh, man.
Oh, what
I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
Not as happy as I am. This is absolutely amazing.
All right, so I'm whoever keeps the Yeti the full distance is definitely gonna be my MVP of this entire race. But we'll see how it works out. We got ourselves our looting paths we're taking. Double Down going to the returner's hideout, whereas Zelfer and Schwantz and Golden Shocker are all hanging out in Narsh. But interestingly enough, Schwantz going into the beginner house, where Zelfer and Golden Shocker just kind of like ran up to the treasure shed.
Yeah. So with this start, we don't have really anywhere we can go where we can have a check, where we can also have fixed encounters safely built into it, such as Imperial Camp or Elite River. We kind of got to make some hard decisions, but I think what we'll do here is the first thing what our runners are going to look for is warp stones, because pretty much every character on their starting party with these 3, their checks revolve around warp stones, And if we can get some warp stones, that's huge because that's less walking out of Zone Eater, that's less walking out of Umaro's cave, and that's less walking out of Mog's Lone Wolf check. Excuse me, not Lone Wolf check, is Moogle Defense check.
Maybe if I saw that quick enough, I think the Narsh item shop actually has warp stones for sale, so I think we're good to go on that regard at this point.
It's huge. That's great find already. And I love this play here from Zelfer already. What he's going to do is he is going to technically check. We have access to 6 checks right away, and what he's going to do with this walk up here is he's going to peek 3 of them. Well, he's only going to peek the 1. He didn't go all the way up the mountain for the Lone Wolf, but now he knows there's no character at Umaro's spot, so that crosses off one spot he doesn't have to go.
At least initially. I mean, you can go there later,
Yes.
possibly get an item or Magicite, but if you're looking for characters at this point, and I'm sure that most of these runners are, and they're looking for replacements, that's their first thing. So he's going to cross it off the list. It's a pretty narrow opening here at this point, since there's Umaro only has his cave, Gogo only has, you know, the where he comes from, the Zone Eater. So it's very limited checks, and Mog only has 2 also. So aside from the universal checks that are there, very limited options here. So we're gonna have a very narrow opening. Hopefully the sea will open up here, and we'll see some divergence as we go outside the opening looting rounds.
I would have liked to seen Zelfer there go all the way up and do the Lone Wolf check. That allows you to walk past the Kefka and Narsh as well, so you can kind of gauge if that's a character or not. Then obviously you see if Lone Wolf is a character, and that would basically just mean you have to go to Zone Eater. You can either go to Zone Eater or go get some levels and just walk the mountain back up, or just get levels while you're there. And you do have access to some offense when you have Umaro at the start, just because he's instant offense at all point in times. But he's great early. He just kind of tails off a little bit later with his unpredictability. I cringe as I say that because I'm one of the bigger Umaro truthers in the community. But from a realistic standpoint, those are the pluses and the downsides to Umaro starts.
I mean, you have a big beefy boy right out of the gate that's going to be able to do some damage for you without really a lot of work. I mean, he can hold his own. He starts with the Snow Muffler, which is one of the best, the best physical defense armor you can get, as well as some cold negation on that part as well. So it's not bad by any means. For that start. I know a lot of folks are going to be looking to replace him. I think he holds his own throughout the entirety of the seed, but I doubt we'll see him go the full distance. But we're seeing our runners here. They have their own little routes that they're taking at this point, just doing some looting and pillaging and trying to get everything they can at this point. To get themselves geared up and start those grinds. I mean, the Figaro basement may not be a bad spot to throw in a couple of fights here and there, but like you said, we don't really have a grind check to work with. There's nothing built into a check. That we're going to have to spend some time getting a couple early levels to get that foothold and actually start our journey here at this point.
Yeah, I do want to point out that Darcy Blows, Blizzard Orb was in Albrook, which is where Double Down is, and that's going to allow Umaro his access to the Blizzard ability, and that's great for some of the AoE attack, or an AoE attack for some of the mobs you might counter when you decide to do Kefka and Narsh, and when you decide to do a Moogle defense check, because none of our characters really have access to an AoE ability, but Umaro's Blizzard Orb transforms his Body Slam into an AoE ability, and that's fantastic.
Right, you are there, Drinks Glue. I'm not a big fan of the Blizzard Orb. I mean, it seems like what he means. He's a good boy. He means good things, but sometimes you just run into like all the ice absorbing or ice negating enemies, and he just heals them to to no end rather than actually just throwing his body at them like he can. Rage Ring is the one you really want to see in all truth, but it's not bad by any means.
No, Blizzard Orb is far better outside of boss battles, just because if you run into a boss battle that you don't want that Blizzard coming out, you can spend more time negating the effects of Umaro doing that Blizzard attack than you can actually reaping its benefits. So I personally like to keep it on for mobs, take it off for bosses. But we'll see what Double Down does here. He may have a different train of thought.
Looks like Zelfer selling some stuff here. Going to be going and taking a look at Zen and getting their first piece of Magicite for about 20 grand or so, it looked like, for sale. So not a bad price.
That's a pretty good bounty for that price.
Yeah, right, you are. So we are in the basement here on Golden Shocker's side, but we're not actually seeing him take the Moogle Charm off at this point. So we're just going to be grabbing some chests and going on, and hopefully getting out of Davy Jones's locker here sooner rather than later. But that being said, we see also, looks like Double Down might be double dipping maybe and getting some extra loot in South Figaro. I'm not sure if they went to World of Balance or not. Possibly not here because they're actually doing some interior looting at this point. We'll see if that was the right play.
No, actually, shockingly, I had kind of touched on this one that I thought maybe we'll see some contrarian plays from Schwantz and Golden Shocker. Or we're actually seeing that unorthodox play from Double Down himself. He's the one that decided to go on account and then bypass World of Balance Figaro, where most players will actually go, because Albrook does have some access to some treasure chests, but it's so far out of the way, and they're so far much farther spread out. You have to invest some more time. But he did find that Blizzard Orb. He did find an Atlas Armor for sale, so there was some reward for going there. We'll just see though how that plays out.
So they're unorthodox plays or things that are outside the norm of you're either doing unpopular checks or going to places that you think other players won't go to. You can get lucky and find some pretty good loot that can crack a seed wide open or give you an advantage that otherwise other players wouldn't have at that point. So it's not a bad play. It really isn't. So going to places like that, yeah, it takes a little bit of extra time, but it can pay off.
Yeah.
And we did see some good items there too.
Yeah, and I personally like the strategy of in larger races where you're going against a dozen people of maybe doing one or two of those. If you do it the entire time, you're kind of still shooting yourself in the foot, because there's an experience egg just somewhere in one of the South Figaros and you never visit there. 10 other people are going to find that and you just won't. But if there's, if it's in the last check, or excuse me, the last chest in Returner's Hideout, so be it. It's there. You can kind of get away with that. The RNG won't favor you that much. Disfavor you that much, but if it's all right there and you just go everywhere, but you kind of take too many chances and you get a little too cute with it.
Yeah, so Schwantz here taking my advice and doing some grind fights in the basement, just finds a bunch of raccoons, I guess, or squirrels or something that they're just kind of poking out there, hanging out, and just try to do their best. But they're not going to get tons of experience for this, I don't think. Not the best fights in the world, but hey, anything's better than nothing here when we're starting out.
Double down, showing off that Blizzard Orb right there. Out comes Blizzard, and we're still level 3, but next time we come across this fight, if he does that again, that's gonna end it. The poppers actually aren't that bad of a fight, and we'll see here when he gets experience for this fight.
Well, that's not bad. That'll net him a couple levels here right out of the gate, so not bad at all. Again, looking to get out of there and start actually killing some bosses and kind of putting that in place here into the route. Looks like we also had Golden Shocker take a peek at Albrook as well to grab some goodies too.
And then we got Zelfer going on over the Thamasa. Thamasa isn't that far out of the way, that off the beaten path, but still, it's not down that sweet middle aisle of Narish, South Figaro, and then Returner's Cave.
Yeah, you definitely have to go out of your way for that one, but a lot of chests to loot on the outside. You have a lot of access to, a bunch of shops you can dig into too, and you can find some really good things there too if you're very lucky. It's usually best if you have Realm or Strago for a reason to go over that in that location, but again, looking for those outside plays early on here to find maybe some good things to work with is again, not bad.
So we got Zelfer still looking for warp stones in the airship. I think he really wants to go do a Go-Go's check. He may just go there anyways.
I think the free check right out of the gate is the right move to do at this point. You have Go-Go, you might as well go for it. We already know that since from taking a peek up north that there's not a character at Umaro. So one of these characters likely will have something that will have that check to kind of lead you down that path potentially. At this point, I don't think we're really in a spot right now where we want to do Moogle defense and invest that time at this point, unless we want to try to do the full shebang where we activate Lone Wolf, run up top, do Kefka at Narsh, do Moogle defense. You do that full chain and kind of like clustering your checks. That's a good play overall to kind of limit your back and forth that you do at this point. So maybe they're waiting to do something like that when they feel more comfortable and suited.
Yeah, we got a mutiny on our hand and double down screen. Finding the one negative thing about the poppers is that they can imp you. Other than that, they don't pose much of a threat.
Now, speaking about threat, we got some mag rotors out on the out in the field. It looks like here the Golden Shocker's going up against.
And Zelfer's got a Mesosaur fight. That's a pretty decent one as well if they don't run away on you.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Looks like Mog leaning into the Dragoon. Inspired backgrounds of it, using that jump ability, hopping up, seeing what that damage is. It looks like you got a dragon horn there. That's a multi-jump. Beautiful. Yeah,
so there was a dragon horn in Albrook, which is where Double Down and Golden Shocker went. Double Down did not pick one up, but looks like Golden Shocker did, and that's a great heads-up play because Mog does get access to the best lances in the game. Zelfer showing off another great thing about Umaro starts is Umaro is the best possible starting character for the Coliseum just because he can only attack or attack. So let's see what's in store in the Coliseum.
Oh, we got two going on. We got Golden Shocker and Zelfer both of them going in there. So I'm very curious to see. I think it was Ultras League 4 that really puts Coliseum on the map by swapping some stuff out.
Oh, so nothing for Zelfer. Much, even less for Golden Striker. It looks like so. I think Golden Striker's taking a red jacket, which is okay. You know, you take it over not taking it, but nothing game breaking we saw.
I mean, red jacket's not bad. That's free fire protection, assuming that you're able to equip it outside of the figure bros. We can see who can have it, but you know, fire protection. As far as all the elements go, I think that's the most important one to protect against. Is that fire is so common. Not to mention, you're opening up that potential Merton play later on if we find an Esper that has it.
Yeah, double down doing the Coliseum bad new plays again, but he did go somewhere else. He has gone a little bit somewhere else, so he may have something that trades for something good. Our brothers didn't have it, and he does. He has a Goblin for a Ragnarok. That is huge.
That's a beautiful thing right there.
Yeah,
Lobo for a Ragnarok, absolutely. Throwing the body, Yeti is not wasting any time.
So I don't think we've really seen anybody do it, but I'm a big proponent of that when you have Umaro and you're going to make your way over anyways, is that when you come across stuff in shops, if it's under 1,000 GP, just go ahead and pick it up. Buy the bolt edges, buy the invisible edges, buy the goggles, the accessory that protects blind that costs about 300 GP. It's worthless to you, but you know, sometime eventually it's going to trade for Illumina, so you might as well.
Agreed. I mean, anything cheap, especially if I find rename cards, absolutely grab them. I mean, you're giving yourself more options and more chances of getting things in the Coliseum. I'll even, if I'm feeling really, really froggy about it, I'll unequip everybody in the party with their starting gear and use that as additional options, because sometimes that even turns into a play. Coliseum, it's a gamble, but you can get. We're seeing people getting Ragnarok. I mean, that's a build-defining sword right there, assuming someone could equip it. They'll be slapping and doing really good damage here for a good chunk of time.
Yeah, so this ceiling is really going to test the sea legs of Zelfer. Can he make through? Oh, he does make it through the last door without the second collapse. That you're really contingent on one, perfect routing, and two, the whatever is in that box and how much characters are in it. Because if it's a little long, it takes a little longer than animation for that screen to pop up. Thunder Shield at Zone Eater, so that means, one, we have another piece of Merton protection, but two, that means there's a character, either a Kefka at Narsh, Moogle Defense, or the Lone Wolf spot. So somewhere in Mog's bevy of Sweet Avenues is our way to go in this seed.
It's got to be at this point. I'm just going to throw it out there. I'm thinking Lone Wolf is the way to go in this one. We're going to find a character up there, and he'll have something garbage we're not going to want. But that's my play. I think our next path will be with the Lone Wolf.
You're thinking Lone Wolf? What character do you think is going to be on down there?
Ooh, I have no idea who it could possibly be. Let's take a guess of let's say I think Locke is maybe up there hanging out.
You think that Hornswoggle Walk is going to be down there?
No, he's a scurvy dog, my friend.
Okay. Well, I personally think I'm gonna go with Celeste. I'm gonna say Celeste is marooned up there at the Kefka and Narsh spot, and that's where we're gonna find our path, avenue through the seed. So we got Locke in Moogle Defense. Oh, actually, it's Cyan. We are both wrong. Well, at least you're wrong for sure. I could still possibly be right.
Oh, Golden Shocker did not find a warp stone, I guess, and had to walk out the hard way on that one. No. So,
well, Zelfer does have 10 of them, so if he asks nicely, he may spare one for him.
Yeah, definitely bought more than enough. But I mean, Golden Shocker did a good job walking the plank. He went through there no problem.
So, hopefully it's like Double Down is one of my favorite things about the Moogle Defense check is, one, not having to walk out of it. If you have warp stones, that's such a great feeling. But I love that there's 6 wolves down here, and they're all guaranteed to be the same boss, no matter what. So I like to always at least peek at least one, just see what it is, what's going on. Ooh, Schwartz found the Ragnarok for the Gauntlet as well in the Coliseum.
Oh, that's amazing.
Touching back to Double Down, the 6 balloon fight. I really hope my Umaro does his Blizzard now.
Yeah, this would be an excellent use.
No character at Lone Wolf, and we'll see again by Zelfer when he walks by.
I'm just hoping the Lone Wolf check is actually something that's progress based, and apparently not.
It'll be useful in about an hour.
Yeah, we'll get there eventually, but it looks like I was very wrong, and I didn't see was that Kefka at Norrish.
It's an imp sprite, so it's either an Esper or an item.
Well, there's only one path forward then, so it would be Moogle defense, it seems. So it's double down will be the one to get the next gateway, but still, it's gonna. This is looking fairly linear out of the gate here, so
Yeah.
I'm curious to see. But a lot of good tools already that have been found. The Ragnarok, everyone has made a Coliseum play. I think when you start with Umaro, that's almost like kind of baked into your early routing.
So here's a pivotal moment in the seed. Zelfer is beginning Kefka at Narsh. Double Down knows the good news. He knows that there's a character, and it's a character that's fantastic from the Czech's point of view. He's kind of a landlubber when it comes to his abilities. You don't really care for him. He has a poor equipment pool. That's just Cyan in a nutshell. But nevertheless, if this is something tough at Kefka at Narsh that Zelfa can't get through, he's gonna have to reset out, walk on back down the mountain, then go in the Moogle defense. That's a lot of time. It's going to take a couple grind fights here, and then he has to go through all that, get to the big scary boss at the end. And if he can't beat it, that's a huge time sink this early, and he's going to lose a lot of progress to Double Down. And really, whoever else goes down there first and doesn't go up the mountain.
Schwantz, by the way, getting bullied by the hardest boss in the game, the guy that's in the middle of the zone here that just would not move, unfortunately. And Double Down facing... okay, so he's facing Magimaster Light. That's good.
Yeah. Go number 2, Schwantz doesn't walk the plank. He is by the Chancellor. He's taking a safety save from the ceiling. Ladies and gentlemen, don't be afraid of the ceiling. The ceiling cannot hurt you. All you have to do is walk a straight path. You see the path in front of you. You got this. Believe in yourself, and I'll believe in you as well.
Golden Shocker doing a good job getting the skip there coming down. Looks like we got Cheddar Nook at Kefka at Nark. And yeah, Kefka at Nark. Kefka at Nook at this point.
So this is an unfortunate fight because we don't have access to any fire magic. And Cheddar Nook is a beefy boss.
We got Mog and Go-Go here, so Umaro was left behind and not the one to be brought out here. Actually, probably for the best, considering that he'll slap anybody. He's not going to wait for the form to change at this point, so probably for the best.
Golden Shocker's just going to risk it all, get the ice shields on out of there, so that way you're not stuck in this fight for the next 10 minutes. And then if I was him, I would just mimic this ice shield till either he dies or I die.
Yeah, probably for the best on that one. Try to get through this in one phase, if at all possible, and just get out of there, and then move on. So we have what? Cyan's going to be the one we're picking up, or Celis? Who do we got? We have Cyan, I think you had mentioned. So that's a couple things. I really like the Nightmare, Cyan's Nightmare at Doma. Like, that's a very dense check if you're able to get yourself through there, assuming there's not any really bad bosses. But I think that's a good play to go to that, or also checking out Mount Zozo.
Yeah, all the science checks are fantastic. They're either one really quick, such as Doma Siege, or they're all multi-part checks that you can lump together. Mount Zozo is contingent on having warp stones, but nevertheless, that is Cyan's saving grace, is that he has fantastic checks.
He sure does. Absolutely. I mean, going up to Mount Zozo, if you have the capability to beat the dragon, I mean, that's also another you can route in that's just right there, very, very close, and just keeping that in mind as well. Try to get those couple of dragon fights. On average, Drink School, how many dragon fights do you take during a UL 6 seed?
I try to get to 12. If I can get to 12, I'm doing something right.
12 dragon fights? Wait a minute.
Nobody's done it before, but if I can just batten down the hatches and break through that glass ceiling, I will do something nobody's ever done before.
I have many questions, but I don't have enough time in commentary to do this. Let's go back to the action. And we I can't focus. We see Double Down going to be hopping in as well. They'll be doing that Kefka Narsh. We'll see. We have Cheddar Nook down on Zelfer's side. And it's still going on for Golden Shocker, unfortunately. So hopefully we can get through this here quick. Big damage here maybe from Mog coming down. And that's enough for the kill shot.
Yeah, kudos on Zelfer for giving that Cheddar Nook a flogging in a decent amount of time. As you can see, Golden Shocker is still working his way through the fight and wrapping it up now despite starting first. Double Down's going to get his own double dose of Cheddar Nook here as well. And then we got I think Schwant's going back. He must have saw something he wants. I guess that's the Dragon Horn. Yep, that's what he wants.
That's picking it up. Exactly. All right, so now that we have Cyan for most of our runners at this point then, we should see some slight divergence depending on whatever checks they find and where we go next here, but definitely Cyan's going to be next on the chopping block. for us to go through. So get out your treasure maps, folks. We're going to be going hunting and seeing what we can find in these next couple of rounds of checks.
What was Cyan's ability? Did we see Cyan's ability yet?
You called him a landlubber earlier. I would contest he has his sea legs, so I'm not sure what he's got, but hopefully something that's sustainable. Like, again, I'm sure that these folks are looking to swap out Umaro sooner rather than later, maybe even Go-Go at this point, but we'll see. We have a dancer.
Ooh, unbelievable. That's not a very attractive Cyan. I don't know what his wife sees in him, but that's another story for another day. Yeah, I would say, well, actually, is that landslide? I couldn't tell if that was landslide or fractional damage. Yeah, it said he was pulling off there.
Well, break out the hurdy-gurdy. Let's do a jig and sing some sea shanties here, my friend, with Cyan being able to cut a jig here for us.
Ooh, I really like this fight if Double Down has a way. Oh, and he does. He has Revivifies. Boomfires are absolutely amazing.
Great.
The way they quickly deal with them.
Yeah, those are nice, quick, easy kills at that point. Revivifies they're kind of pricey, depending on where you pick them up at, but grabbing a couple of them just in case, because there's nothing else that you really have to deal with to fix zombie whenever that happens. We got some junk, some drops, some traps. You know, they got some pretty nasty stuff here that they can work with here too. So trying to take care of them sooner rather than later, or getting out of there might be the move. And smoke bomb, I don't blame them. Oh, went for the skip and got tagged. That's what happened. All right. Well, so Imagine Master Light on Golden Shocker's side going to be going down here. We saw that one earlier. Schwantz about to start their assault on Kefka at Narsh. And Zelfer is down. Going to be picking up Cyan here soon in the Moogle defense. See what Double Down does with Chatternook.
We don't know where, but we know there's going to be at least one character somewhere within Cyan's bevy of checks. Where do we think that's going to be? We're 0 for 2 so far, so let's go to make it 0 for 4.
All right, you pick one. I'll make sure I pick one of the other ones then. So what's you get the pick of the litter here.
I'm gonna go with Edgar at let's do Doma Dream. Let's do Edgar's gonna be running across the trains in the Doma Dream.
Okay, that's a pretty good place to look at. I'm gonna go easy peasy on this one. I'm gonna say Doma Defense, or the assault on Doma, and I'm gonna go again with Locke.
Can I cut in and take Strago at Mount Zozo then?
Oh, of course, we can go.
There we go. So shout outs to Joker Mage. Joker Mage running behind the scenes here for us, friend, doing the streaming work. And also big shout outs to PB&J, please, doing our tracking tonight. Much love to Joker Mage and PB&J for the work that they're doing behind the scenes here, friends. So make sure to give them some love.
Oh, of course. And also Joker has another special project that he's tracking for us as well, which we'll reveal later, possibly.
That's the most special of projects, apparently.
I've already lost count, so... You guys are just too good.
That's a shame, because you'll be scrubbing the poop deck later, I tell you what.
Oh, yo ho ho. Anywho, so Chatternook still posing problems for Schwantz. This has been either a really fast fight or a slow one for our friends at this point. And that could be a bit of a pivotal moment to see where things work out. Again, it comes down to who is able to find the next character and get their next piece after Cyan. And where we go from there. Double Down going to be leaving the Moogle defense. Going to be done here with Narsh at this point. And looks like Golden Shocker also going to be done too.
Yeah, typically at this point in a Worlds Collide seed, it's kind of hard to tell who's ahead because, typically our runners would not be, all at the same spot, putting the same actions, all at the same time. But I can safely say that Double Down and Zelfer have separated themselves between the two bottom racers just because they're both walking out with Zayan. They've both done the Moogle defense. They've both done the Lone Wolf and Kefka and Nash checks. Whereas Schwantz and Golden Shocker's walking out. Schwantz still has a little more progress to make up. I can safely say that Zelfer and Double Down are in the lead at this moment in time. Now, if they stay there, that will remain to be seen. But that's an interesting thing when you get a linear seed, is that you have a better gauge of where our runners are at compared to each other.
Agreed. And hey, look, there's Locke on Zelfer's side, which, by the way, was at Doma Defense, I might add.
Amazing.
Look at that.
Absolutely amazing.
0 for 4, we are not, my friend. I got both. I got the location and the character. All right, I'll stop. I'll dust my shoulders off.
But Locke is an interesting character to see at this point in time. I think that's going to funnel our runners up to Walter Rule and Narsh now. So while we still have some options available to us, I think that's going to make the seed even a little more linear, just because you want that Esper what Locke has behind him, or if it's a big sword that you want Locke to wear. Or it could be something better like an experience egg as opposed to an Esper, or the Esper, or whatever it may be. You get 2 stabs at it, and I think that's what we'll see Zelfer and Double Down go next.
Oof, and this is a beefy assault, though. Doom.
Yeah.
We got triple Doom going on right now. And remember that Blizzard Robo was talking about how bad that could be versus certain bosses? This is one of the bosses you don't want to see.
No, Doom, he likes Shiver Me Timbers does not work on him. He likes the ice ability. He will absorb it. So while Yamaro, this is one of the Blizzard Orbs situations where it will backfire on you.
Well, throw a lash around the mast, and we're going to hold fast here at this one, trying to go through this fight. I'm not seeing anyone do any resets, so we're gonna ride this one out as best as we possibly can. I don't know if anyone has Blizzard Orb equipped still at this point. I haven't seen Blizzard come out at this point, so fingers crossed on that one. Pearl coming out though on Golden Shocker. That's huge.
That's a huge one right there. That's fantastic because Doom, while he likes ice, he really hates Pearl.
And not to mention, we have Merton strats going on Double Down side already. I saw that come out. This is wild.
Okay. We can just Merton until we get to a comfortable spot, then we'll pick Locke up.
Basically, at this point, that's fantastic. I mean, having this online, we saw the Thunder Shield, we saw the Red Jacket. Like, we kind of built that up already, which is great. And Doom is down for both Golden Shocker and Double Down at this point.
Yeah, unfortunately for Double Down, Locke is swimming at the fishes while he finishes up his Doom 5. But nevertheless, that was just kind of a Doom's a tough scenario. Some of the other bosses are relatively easier we'll probably come across, so that won't be a situation that we have to mimic later on. That should be a one-time thing. Possibly a two-time thing.
And Zelfer also taking down. So everyone taking down Doom on their first run through on that one. You love to see it. And we're pretty much aligned across the board here among the top 3 here. So this is, with it being so linear out of the gate and so narrow, it's pretty wild to see this converge in the way that it has. That all of them went that route as opposed to the other ones for Cyan. But quick checks, I guess. So they're all kind of thinking the same way.
Yeah, and as I mentioned earlier, this is where I would go. This is where Falcon Hit would go. So that's why I know I'm doing the right thing. Let's get on up to get on up to that Walter Ruin Narsh, see what's in that weapon shop for us. Peek the Curse Shield if we want, and go into Yamaro's stuff.
Yeah, that's another thing. I mean, I will always talk to the old guy in World of Balance Narsh, so I don't have to peek it. So I can just ask him and just know if it's actually worth coming here. But let's see what we got. We have Offering or a Valiant Knife. We have both. We want both of them. So if we can find Terra, that would be amazing.
Well, I think I would have took the Offering. I think we'll talk to the Valiant Knife, which is a fine choice, but we do have that Atma weapon from the Lone Wolf check that if we took it, I don't know what Golden Sucker did or didn't do. I know Global Down did take the Atma weapon, so I think he's be more inclined to take the Offering here.
Well, we'll see here. And I would take VK. I really like VK, and I'm just going to hope that you can get an Offering elsewhere. Maybe, start opening some MIBs and you see if you can get the Katana Soul to drop that. So VK is no guarantee. Offering can be if you have a chance of opening enough of those going through the seed at this point. So again, I go with that play in this case.
Yeah, we have 2 Valiant Knife claims and we have 1 Offering redemption. So there is no really right or wrong answer there. I think it's contingent on what you have and what you think you might find. If you really don't want to start doing monster in the boxes, then maybe you take your Offering now. If you feel more inclined to maybe do so, or you're comfortable doing so, then you go ahead and take that Valiant Knife. Maybe you find my Offering later on, but nevertheless, it's highly situational there.
We have our first dragon fight. I think Golden Shocker going up against the Red Dragon, and Double Down also following suit in the Fields of Snow. Zelfer not too far behind. I wonder if we're going to have a 3-dragon play here.
Yeah, for the foreseeable future, we may see the top 2 runners and the bottom left runner with the same stuff on the screen at the same time.
Outstanding. You love to see it.
All right, so Golden Shocker is done with his Red Dragon. Double Down and Zelfer just getting underway with theirs.
We see Pearl and Flare proccing at this point. Kind of fun stuff. Merton Strat's not going to be viable. This would have been a good fight for Umaro to have the Blizzard Orb on for.
Yeah.
Ooh, I didn't see what that item was that he dropped.
Yeah, we missed the plunder, but luckily we're about to see it 2 more times, so we can maybe unearth it.
Yeah, I mean, these runners are so fast with clearing the menu. It's so hard to see it. And coming up to the Tri-Talk spot, more often than not, this tends to be Magicite. And also you have Umaro, and you know that it's not going to be a character. I would say just do the full chain.
That's an Illumina.
Wow.
That is something really fantastic that you want to pillage early rather than later. Now we know Locke can sit on that Illumina if someone else can as well. And then as we level up, that Atma offering combination, in Double Down's case, can take over.
So we have Illuminas, Ragnaroks, and VKs in this seed already known at this point. So definitely plenty of offensive abilities there. So pick your poison on that one. It should be pretty good as far as what path forward, especially with a lot of offensive attackers here. Cyan and Locke should be able to put in some work, hands down. We know that we have at least one VK user.
Yeah, and then great news, Umaro could wear the Illumina I saw on Zelfer's screen. Unfortunately, he's not going to utilize that. That's a real shame.
Yeah, I think because he can't get the auto crit off of that since I don't think he can equip Magicite, so that's the problem with that. Unfortunately, even though I love the fact of seeing our Yeti friend swinging the legendary sword. Speaking of Yeti, we're in the Yeti cave now. Golden Shocker heading down there, taking a look. Uncle Alti up top on Tri-Talk's side. Golden Shocker just working their way right there, not even messing around with the monsters in the box that's here. Let's see what we get in that carving. It is a piece of Magicite, it looks like. And that looks like, I think that was that Siren or Shoat. I saw an S, I believe.
As long as it wasn't Scurvy, that was fine. But this is not the actual Umaro fight. Well, it could be because we haven't seen Umaro yet, but it's going to be Air Force.
No, we found a plane that was apparently just parked in here the entire time. What a concept.
Well, you can put a ship into a glass bottle, so you can put, Air Force into Umaro's cave somehow.
Oh, absolutely. There's a lot more room for that one for sure. And Schwantz going up against Doom. I saw it at Dome of Defense. It looks like it got through it pretty quickly or reset. I'm not sure about that one, but I saw it pop up on his screen momentarily.
Zelfer checking the monster in the box. It's just a Lobo. That's not what you really want to see there. That monster in the box play, while minuscule in the grand scheme of things, but you can see on the screen now that Zelfer, Double Down, and Golden Shocker all kind of walked here at the same time. Now Zelfer is having to catch up to where Double Down and Golden Shocker are because he took that chance. So we'll see if Zelfer keeps hunting for that missing offering. But if he hunts too much and it doesn't exist in the natural pathway of the seed, that could end up costing him quite a bit of time.
Hey, I mean, it's the chase for loot, man. We're looking for that offering, like I had mentioned. It's not a bad play by any means. Looks like Schwantz, though, with Locke going to Tunnel Armor. I like this check. I like this play. It's a pretty fast one to go to.
Yeah, I think Schwantz is having a little bit of latency. That's okay. We'll get him straightened out when we can. We got Domo Dream happening here for Double Down next. Did the Golden Shocker forget to get? What did the Golden Shocker do? Did he get the Curse Shield?
Let's see what he was doing down there in Narsh, but maybe heading back for it possibly.
Oh, that's right. He has to walk out because he didn't have the Warp Stones.
Yes, he had to do the exact same thing for Zone Eater as well. So that's additional time they've added onto their seed compared to the others that found the Warp Stones fairly early on.
Yep,
but still doing okay.
Double Down is now pacing the race, as he is the first one to the Three Stooges fight, whatever this may be, while Golden Shocker is just now catching some Z's, and Zelfer is still making his way out.
Oh, there he is. Cyan dreaming about the Yeti while they're standing together. You love to see it.
Beautiful. Zelfer's going back for either the Snow Muffler or the Atma weapon, which I'm not opposed to. If you think you're going to end up at 22 checks, you might as well, because this is relatively fast in the grand scheme of things of how fast if it adds a check, less so much the Snow Muffler you're getting. But maybe he took the Snow Muffler and he's just going back for the potential Esper item.
Yeah, it's not a bad play. I mean, there's plenty of offensive options we've already seen in the seed that are available here. Lots of viable damage. The Merton strats on double downside are pretty wild to see.
Yeah.
Illumina procking.
Double down through his Yumaro fight already. Amazing. I still have a chance to be right here, so we can get this back to 50% accuracy if this is an Edgar running across the trains here, sewing off his sea legs.
Let's see. What do we got at the train? Is it going to be a ghost? Is it going to be an imp? Or is it going to be Edgar running across? Fingers crossed that hopefully that we're right.
No,
it's a merchant.
Right. We can't even get the NPC right. Unbelievable.
Oh, it's always the merchant. Except when it's not. Well, that being said, Schwantz going back to the basement of Figaro. I thought they went there earlier.
So I'm looking at Schwann's streams because he is having latency issues, and it looks like he found Celeste somewhere, and possibly the tunnel armor check.
Tunnel armor fight, yes.
Ooh.
We have ourselves a fork here as opposed to the three that are kind of following the same right on top. Maybe Schwantz has a way.
Yeah, that's Schwantz's best hope, because if he goes down the same path everybody else is, he's just, obviously going to start at a lesser point in time. That's fantastic news, though, for our other runners, just because tunnel armor is a fast check. They are very much inclined and likely to go there. So that's another person to wield either the Atma weapon or the Illumina in their party.
Yeah, and just to follow up again, it looks like that Celeste Prisoner South Figaro one may have been an Esper of some kind, because I have his tracker showing 6 characters, 3 Espers.
Okay.
Good to know. And Double Down and Golden Shocker doing the Dome of Dream. We see Zelfer going to Phoenix Cave for this one and kind of working their way through. Plenty of treasures to grab along the way there. Maybe we'll fight the dragon. Who knows? We'll see. And it's a freebie, though. It's a long one, but it's a freebie.
So I got a question for you, Retro.
What's up?
Hypothetically, let's say I was a newcomer to Worlds Collide, and I was interested in joining on this amazing action I see on the screen in front of me. Where could I go to do so?
Well, I'm so glad you asked, Glue. My friends, if you are watching this right now being like, you know what, this looks like fun. I like Final Fantasy VI, or I want to get on this amazing action like Glue just said, go over to ff6worldscollide.com and join our wonderful Discord community with the most helpful folks you will find. You have any question, you have people just climbing over themselves just to answer you and provide insights and guidance and get you involved. There's always something going on. Right now, this is the start of the Ultros League 6. And guess what? I think you can actually still register late on this one, because technically you only need to get 6 weeks in. I could be wrong. I could be overstepping here, but ultrosleague.com you can check out the standings, see how things are doing, all the different divisions that are out there. But I got to say, this is hands down, no offense to any of the other randomizers that are out there, but this community is absolutely incredible. Everyone that here is so helpful, and it's just a great vibe all around. So if you want to get involved with it, I highly recommend it. You'll have a great time with us. ff6worldscollide.com.
Yeah, double down on the top left of your screen is actually the commissioner, creator, owner, chairman, CEO, COO, and anything else under the sun you think it could be for Ultros League. And we are accepting late signups still. For every time I ask Double Down a question, like the exact date for late signups, he always just sends me a link to his Venmo and tells me to bless it for the answer. So I don't know the answer because I send him too much money, and he sends it so many times. But nevertheless, we'll ask him when he gets in here when late signups may be going on to. Maybe he'll give it to us on the house this time. But we are accepting still late signups for Ultros League. If you are interested, ultrosleague.com.
So Double Down wrapping up Dome of Dream and getting a Magicite on the throne on that one there too. So wrapping up here, and also Golden Shocker. So double dipping on the Magicite on that one. Love to see it. Again, Cyan coming in big on this one and getting we don't have anyone that uses sword tech, unfortunately, so that we're not really worried about. But everything else though, very, very fruitful check all the way through, it seems.
What type of sword, what type of cutlass do you use to utilize sword tech, Retro? How does sword tech work?
Sword tech, if we're going back to the actual source material, my friend, it's not a cutlass of any kind. It is not a curved sword. Well, it is a curved sword. It is a katana that the humble samurai uses for Bushido at this point. But what I use, I don't have access to a katana or a cutlass, so I don't know, just grab a stick off a tree and pretend.
We do have Sketch Saban in the Phoenix Cave. Sketch Saban is I wouldn't exactly call him an S tier character, but I guess you could technically arguably find a worse one with a worse ability. Nevertheless, to the bench that Saban goes. But that is his character's result first. That's good news.
That is good news. Yeah, sketch is fun. You can. There are some situational times where it's fairly useful and also kind of swaggy to sketch Kefka at the end and get Ultima to happen, which is kind of fun too. But not really something you're going to have to drive, especially at this point since we're about halfway or more into the seed at 41 minutes with these caliber runners.
Yeah, now that we know where Saban and Celeste are, there are multiple avenues through the seed. How multiple those avenues can get remains to be seen, but we knew there was a pathway to 6 characters where all of our runners don't have to find the same characters. We'll see quite a bit of divergence now. We won't see 3 red dragons on the screen anymore, most likely.
Yeah, we have a good mix now. We got Doulahan against Golden Shocker, the Ice Dragon at Mount Zozo for double down. Merton just going to absolutely shred Ice Dragon. Oh yeah, good damage.
Yeah, Merton's a fantastic ability. Hits everything on the screen very powerfully. Even better for tier 1s and tier 2s of Final Kefka because it's an easy way to break the damage cap based on the total damage you'll do through one turn, just across multiple targets.
So, I mean, Merton, hands down, just for the application of us going fast, too. It's a fast, snappy animation that goes fairly quickly. It hurts everything. It can heal you in the process. It is really, truly the perfect spell once you have everything built out, then. Far more useful than even Ultima until something negates one of the either the fire or wind at that point. That's where Ultima really shines, being non-elemental. But considering we haven't seen anyone try to uncurse the shield at this point, we're not going to be seeing the big blue bubble today, it seems like.
No, if you have access to Merton as opposed to Ultima, you may use Ultima in a 1v1 scenario against a boss that absorbs fire or wind. But Merton has a much faster animation time than Ultima, despite a little less power, but the animation time adds up so much over time, so that I think this will be a very Merton-heavy seed for double down the rest of the way. Ooh, Ultima anyways, so we'll test that theory of mine.
We'll certainly see. Golden Shocker going to the basement here, doing that Celis check, that freebie that's there, grabbing a piece of Magicite on the way out here. So big shouts again to PB&J. Please keep it on track here with all the tracking. No pun intended there. But a lot's going on here at this point with these 4. Red Dragon down on Schwantz's side, and Mount Zozo coming up here for Zelfer too.
Double Down is going to get his Celeste just by the progress of where we stand. Double Down is at 7 Espers. He's about to get a 6th character. He's just going to need 2 more Espers to get his Kefka requirements.
Now, Golden Shocker going to Vector, so Magitech Factory. Now, at this point, do we grab the 2 early checks that potentially could be Magicite and dip out, or do we do the full run?
I don't think Golden Shocker's done too much dipping out the seed because remember earlier he hasn't found.
Warp
so I don't know if he has, and it's really easy to forget. Hey, this is such a great play. I'm gonna go make it. But this being a great play of taking a stab at 2 Espers is dependent on you having a Warp Stone. So I think even if he doesn't have Warp Stone, this is 2 Espers. He may just do all the way through.
Yeah, that seems like it's what's going to happen here, and it's not a bad move. Again, this is a nice dense check. You've got 3 things that you can possibly get off of it, though, but you have to fight, 4 bosses to get the full way out, so it's a pretty decent chunk. You're getting a lot of experience out of the deal, but it's also quite the investment.
4 bosses and 3 fixed encounters, and quite a bit of traveling and animation time, but nevertheless, experience is experience.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see what's hanging out down here with the Ifris Chiva space. And looks like we have Senor Behemoth hanging out here.
Kudos to Golden Shocker. Golden Shocker really likes to, stick it to me sometimes with his Yamaro plays and refusing to pet the dog, but I got on him a little bit earlier today about it, and he's taking it to heart, and I really appreciate that. He's sticking with Yamaro despite all these great options and great characters out there.
A lot of folks would relegate him just to being airship captain. I refuse that. Especially if you start with him, he's going the full way. There's no reason not to have him go. It's also one less person you have to worry about adding inputs for. So in that regard, I think he saves time.
Yeah, plus he saves the wear and tear on your controller. Just a great character all around.
Oh, nice play there. Golden Shocker for the second form, taking care of it instantly with that Doomcast.
I've been just checking their streams. I think Double Down and Golden Shocker are both around 16 checks, Zelfer's 15 checks, and Schwann's is at 12.
Thank you very much, Joker Mage. Thanks for the update on that one. Again, streamer extraordinaire hanging out there for us. Again, running the knobs and switches behind the scenes for us here on Speed Gaming 4. Again, big shout out to Speed Gaming here. If you like what you see, definitely check out all the channels here on Speed Gaming. Always something going on. And on Wednesdays, it's Final Fantasy 6 night, baby. And that's why we're here now.
Golden Shocker got a Valiant Knife for his Ifrit Shiba fight, so he needs 2 more Espers, as we mentioned earlier. So I think he goes on through all the way no matter what now.
And not a bad move. And hey, look, Golden Shocker found Kefka. Seed's over, folks. Just kidding. But yeah, we're going to push our way through it. This is going to be a nice, fast one.
I started taking my headset off, and I couldn't get ready, but I guess I'll stick around.
I appreciate you, Glue. Thank you. I locked the door in the booth anyway, so you ain't going nowhere. We're in this together, friend.
So good news for Schwantz. Schwantz is going to up with his Doma Dream here. He's going to up at 6 and 7 when he makes his way through here. The bad news is, by the time he's through, we could have two of our runners at Kefka Tower unlock.
Yeah, they've definitely been pushing through all the checks. A lot of I mean, basically any of the low-hanging fruit or the quick checks have all been burned at this point on their side. So just kind of pushing through. Again, this one being very dense for Golden Shocker, which is great. Just chaining these checks together. I mean, Skip is definitely going to be on the table for at least 3 of them at this point. Schwantz may go in there a little bit earlier looking at the time. We'll see how things work out. But I definitely anticipate that Zelfer, Shocker, and Double Down will end up going in there via Skip.
Yeah, so looks like Double Down's going to do his double dip into Magitek Factory as well. He's going to get a Valiant Knife, and then he'll get his 9th Esper. But I believe that's going to put him at 20 checks, because I think he's sitting at 18 right now. So that's going to put him in check skip territory, the neighborhood of the check skip. And I think he's going to heave-ho his way on up through it and probably do a Kefka Tower dive. Do the Toilet Atma spot, do the Gold Dragon spot to get to 22 checks. What do you think, Retro?
I was actually gonna pick your brain about that one. At what threshold do you like? Okay, I'm gonna sacrifice some time to save some time to actually unlock that skip. And I think that actually is not a bad play to dip in there, grab the 2 and head out. Because I was thinking, what is the best thing you can do? What checks are available that are on the table that are fast? And honestly, dragons and you know, like I said, Toilet Atma is a pretty quick one to get to as well. Just kind of rush that and rush those 2, and you know, you can get out, go to do the skip, get right to the statues. So I think that's a good move. I like that. I think that's very sound.
And for Golden Shocker's sake, let's hope if this is a character and not an Esper, let's hope it's a Setzer or a Shadow, somebody with access to a quick check or multiple quick checks just to get to that 9th Esper real fast, because it's really frustrating because he's been on the hunt for these last 2 Espers for about 15 minutes now, and he's gonna complete this long check and I'll get access to him. The good news is, though, that may put him in the neighborhood of the check skip as well.
We see Flame Eater going down right away. Golden Shocker there in the minecart escape. 1 boss to go, and they're free from this check. Where they go from here, I have no idea. But just trying to push through to the end, maybe at this point. Senior Behemoth for Double Down. Should be getting through that. Zelfer doing the Dome of Dream. And where's Shocker at? At Ultros. That's Ancient Castle? Or no,
that's Dome of Dream.
That's Dome of Dream. Yeah, that's right. That's correct. Yeah, that's Throne Room. I was like, I looked at that background, like, wait a minute.
All right, Double Down's gonna get his Valiant Knife here. Leader is the last boss for Golden Shocker, so this is not going to be scary in the slightest for him. He will complete all of Magitek Factory.
Yeah, Leader is a nice one to run into, kind of, because now you know that there's an easy boss that you've just taken out now that's not going to be in KT. So what do we haven't seen Poltergeist, we haven't seen Goddess, we haven't seen Doomgaze, Magimaster, so we still have some pretty nasty stuff on the table yet.
No, we definitely do. That's Esper 9 for Golden Shocker at the end of MTech, so he is full on go for his Kefka Tower unlock. His levels are in the mid-30s, so that's right in the neighborhood of where you can feel comfortable doing this. Let's see what he decides to do here. Is he going to walk the tower as would be, or is he going to full right claim clear?
Oh, no, it looks like he's going to be walking the tower, I think, because he's spreading the love here at this point. So this is we're dipping in at this point. We're going for it. No skip at around the 51-minute mark here for Golden Shocker.
Yeah, Golden Shocker's on 18 checks.
Okay, so he's saying pull up the anchor, set the sails. We're finishing this baby.
That's the right move there. Drinks glue, and I'm excited to see this. We're going to see the walkthrough versus Double Down and Zelfer, hopping in there once they get the skip and see where this all converges at this point. How much time will it take? It all depends also, what is the Inferno boss? I'm curious to see. Will that be a stumbling block at this point? Will we run aground, or will we, be able to set sail for that final Kefka battle?
Ooh, that's another Admiral weapon in the first chest. That's an amazing find for Golden Shocker, because if we get the skip on the other sides of our screen, we won't come across that chest.
Right, you are. Yeah, I mean, that's a really good consideration about it. And also, it's right along the path. It doesn't really cost you a little. It just costs you a few seconds for the text box to come up, but you're not really going or deviating at that point, so it's not a bad play to grab that.
Schwantz is at Mount Zozo. He will get Esper number 8 for his effort here. Zelfer is about to get Esper number 7. And Double Down just needs 0 more Espers. Excuse me, that's Esper number 9.
You love to see it. Golden Shocker making their way through, opening up the
Experience
pathway.
A go, but too little, too late.
Yeah, far too late at this point.
We'll take it. Let's see what Double Down. I think Double Down's gonna, dip his toe in the water and maybe, see what's going on with that skip.
He's going to Opera Dragon here, so getting that push. Looks like Golden Shocker swapping some things around. I will get some mileage out of the experience egg. They threw it on Cyan from what I saw there.
Yeah. Physical damage is scaled so much higher when you're at a higher level. So even if you can, this lane is going to have 3 fights. If we can sneak in 3 fights and get through it with the experience egg on, that could be a huge boost to our final fight in terms of what Cyan can do.
It's a good heads-up play there. Working with the tools you're given, even if it's kind of late in the seed at this point here. So trying to maximize that experience. That is a pretty good play. Hopefully it doesn't, doesn't lower his damage. Let's see what this Inferno boss is going to be.
Ooh, Ghost Train.
Ghost Train's a beautiful thing. It's not bad.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't confuse your character on the first turn, you can make it to the snipe usually pretty safely. Yeah,
no evil toots, and if Illumina procs Pearl, this is basically GG on this fight, so not too bad so far.
Yeah. That does it. Back to Davy Jones' locker for Ghost Train.
So is Zelfer hanging out in Imperial Camp? I guess doing that one. I'm trying to get some late grind fights in, possibly.
Well, this is technically peekable in that after the first fight, if you see a character who Double Down risking it for the biscuit, he's doing an auction house play. This is risky because there could be some plunder to be had in terms of checks, but you can also get stonewalled here a little bit if the auction house conductor does not like you.
He's going to the item shop to sell off some stuff there. He's got some fixed dice he's not going to use. I guess no one can leverage that at this point. Does not want to deal with added RNG on top of his RNG. So selling that for some gold doubloons and going to be taking that to the auction house at this point. Let's see if he can actually pull something out of this one here. So fingers crossed while he goes fishing.
Yeah, and remember, he is not doing this for the Esper. There are 2 checks in the auction house, and that is what he's trying to accomplish here. Double Down is an old Sea Dog. He knows what he's doing. This is a fantastic play to utilize the check skip because we guess I must be wrong in that he needs 4 more checks. Well, 3 more now after the Opera Dragon. So this will put him down to 2.
Oh, very pricey one too, no less. And we'll be buying it.
Yep, and that's 1 check down.
All right, Golden Shocker basically just has to walk the middle, I think, at this point. And then we'll have everyone is there. So now at this point here, so standing on all those switches around the 55-minute mark at this point. So a pretty quick play, a nice fast walkthrough. I say they're 51 minutes, so about 4 minutes walk and getting through that Inferno fight. Not bad at all. Golden Shocker leading the way here, doing a great job.
Talk about jackpot for Double Down because he's not marooned with the Imp Robot here in this scene. He's getting the second check right away, and that is back-to-back RNG. That is fantastic RNG for Double Down. Let's see how many checks that gives him. I think that gives him 21 now.
So 1 more to go. He's got blackjack from what I understand here. So 1 more to go. Something quick and easy, hopefully to grab that skip, and he'll be lined up pretty quickly with Golden Shocker there in that second position. Atma's pretty rough to run up against at this point with 2 people this late, but not that bad compared to some other ones that are out there in the pool yet. And we've still got 3 more bosses to deal with here before we get to that final Kefka climb.
Yeah, as Retro had mentioned earlier, we still haven't seen Magimaster, we haven't seen Noongaze, we haven't seen Poltergeist, plus the host of some of the harder bosses in Final Fantasy VI. So just by the sheer logic of it, this could be a rough Kefka Tower climb, or the back half of this Kefka Tower climb for Golden Shocker.
Yeah, you hate to see it right at the finish line, no less. But I will remind you, there's still some pushovers out there. We got Welk, we got Dataluma, we got a few other ones that are out there that you could still kind of tear through. But yeah, the odds are not looking too good at this point. You know, the numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster.
Yeah, this unfortunately Golden Shocker is not making it through this fight very, very fast. He'll make it through, but this fight taking a little bit of time may catch up to him because Double Down is just going to mow through this Ipu. Out comes Quake on Golden Shocker. He does survive it, fortunately. But again, as you see, Double Down does 25k total damage to Vargas and his Ipus in one turn, and he's doing 4,500 swings with a Ragnarok. He's going to catch up to him fast, as Golden Shocker is going to spend some time in these fights working his way through them.
Yeah, Vargas going down on Double Down's side. Very, very fast. Valiant Knife doing some decent work there, even at full health for Locke, it seems like. So, not bad. Golden Shocker going to be climbing up to the middle statue.
Yeah.
The Poltergeist gets the tent for the validation chest.
Oh, no.
Oh, no!
There she blows. Retro.
Oh, no! Well.
Depending on what Yamaro has equipped, he may be able to make it through this fight in one go. Great heads up play to cast Reflect on Magimaster. Unfortunately, he's already triggered his elemental chain, so he won't be damaging himself. But fortunately, he won't be damaging you.
Yumaro doing a pretty good job there with the Cyan Yeet for 3k damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Joker.
Schwanz has entered the tower with 19 checks.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, they're pushing through, so they're getting their Zelfer now. Where are they at? They're still kind of adventuring outside, aren't they? So big heads up player for Schwanz to make it in there, considering they were kind of lagging behind early on here, but they're charging late here, doing a pretty good job.
So Double Down does have access to the offering via the Lock Walter Ruin weapon shop check earlier. As long as he puts either either Celeste or Locke in the middle lane, he should be fine to get through this Magimaster fight with his Atma offering combo. This is going to be a long fight for Golden Shocker because he's only doing 3k a turn with his Yamaro, and that's assuming Yamaro does the correct move. Otherwise, he's just going to swing and miss as he does right there. So this is going to be a long fight for Golden Shocker, whereas Double Down may spend 1/10 of the time that Golden Shocker does on this fight if he just puts a right character in the right slot.
Yeah, this is pretty rough at this point. I mean, doing the best that he can. Umaro doing 3,000 by throwing and throwing his body in the process here. But man, you're just waiting at this point. It's got to hurt. You're so close to the end of it. Like I said, this is one of the worst situations where you're already kind of limiting your resources and spreading yourself kind of thin, and you got to deal with one of the worst bosses in the game. Arguably, probably the worst, in my opinion, depending on when you find them. And you find them right here. That's pretty rough.
Yeah. All right. Double Down is into the tower. That middle line is important. He's putting Locke there. That is a huge win for Double Down. Oh, he's putting both characters there.
Wow.
Oh, that is a huge win, and he doesn't even know it.
Oh, this is going to be real close.
Yeah. Golden Shocker, this Magimaster is going to have about 30k HP total. So again, we're doing, by average of 50-50 chance of him doing body slam, we're doing about 1,500 damage a turn. So it's going to be a while, and we're still on the front nine of this fight for Golden Shocker.
He truly has that 50-50 chance of winning.
There he goes. I was mistaken. I really misinterpreted how long he was in that fight.
It was a while. He was standing there. Definitely gave a chance for Double Down and Schwanz to make some headway or get close at this point, but Shocker's still leading the charge.
Yeah, and we'll see Golden Shocker is 2 fights ahead. We'll see if he can hold on, because Double Down's going to come charging at him.
So Zelfer just did Collapsing House, got Golem, which is his 9th Esper, and is now on 21 checks.
And looks like Opera Dragon going to be 22. Going to be getting the skip there. Schwantz still charging. Going to be setting up for the switches at this point and be going up there. So we're going to have some conversions. After Opera Dragon's done, Zelfer will probably drop in on the skip just a little bit after Schwantz is probably working on one or two of the bosses here at this point. Shocker pretty close to getting to Final Kefka, and Double Down nipping at his heels.
Do we think Double Down's going to catch Golden Shocker, Retro? What do you think?
I think that Golden Shocker is firmly in the driver's seat at this point, or behind the wheel, if you will, and is definitely steering the ship.
I'm going to predict that by Golden Shocker is definitely going to get to the switches first, barring any wipes on some of these fights. Maybe if Double Down keeps that Mogul Charm off, this prediction won't come to fruition. But I'm going to predict that Double Down catches Golden Shocker on Tier 3 of Final Kefka.
I mean, it really does all come down to that DPS race and see how we have things set up. Double Down with the Merton strats could be pretty good. We're swinging Illuminas and VKs. I mean, there's a lot of damage output here, so it's not going to be a long climb up the tower here at this point. It just comes down to those optimal strats. And also Zelfer picking up Golem. That'll be nice, too, for them once they get in there, too. Nice to have that good calmness protection.
Double Down sees the fantastic news. He just needs to make the right moves to get through this fight. Question from the chat from Skepticon: Dragons are required for this seed? No, they are not. They are not required, but they are just highly encouraged because 1, they're fun. 2, they taste good, and 3, they give high tier items and a lot of experience, plus 50 ability points in Ultras League.
Not in that order. The third one is definitely the most important thing, hands down. So definitely a good play. I mean, definitely if you're starting out with Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide, one of the things you can do to up your game is just adding dragons, honestly. It's just go do 2 or 3 of them. You'll make a big difference in your damage. And that was a fast Magic Master fight for Double Down. Excellent. Definitely gained some time there on Golden Shocker.
Yeah, we entered the tower 2 fights down. Now we are 1 fight down.
And plenty of damage behind it at this point, too, no less. But did not put on the Moogle shot. What happened here?
I think he was just trying to risk it. He's made it this far. He's like, you know what? I'm all for taking chances. This probably isn't a chance I want to take.
Yeah, pretty wild.
Again, Double Down 1 fight ahead. With the next fight up will probably be Atma Weapon. Should give him no trouble. Let us see what is in the Golden Shocker, or excuse me, the Goddess spot, courtesy of Golden Shocker here now.
Schwantz fighting Atma, throwing some fixed dice and using a Dragon Horned Mog for damage at this point. Clean sweep coming out. Let's see if that does any damage.
Oh no, I think that's a Pearl Lance on that Mog.
Ooh, that would be very scary if so, because if that procs.
Yeah, so he's going to have to do another way. This Ice 2 ain't going to cut it.
Oh, but takes care of it. Nice job. Oh, we got Zelfer and Atma too. Look at this. Zelfer and Atma, or Zelfer and Schwantz now back to back at this point. We got Goddess. So man, we've had Goddess, we've had Magimaster, we've had Atma. Oh, some pretty rough ones here at the end.
Yeah, Magimaster and Goddess alone are enough to really swing a run. And we're kind of seeing that with Double Down quickly blowing through his. Let's see how Zelfer and Schwantz handle his as well.
I'm pretty sure that's a vanilla Goddess too.
Oh, was it on the right path? Yeah, that would be a
right
vanilla
path.
Goddess.
I think this is going to hurt Golden Shocker quite a bit. Nope, I stand mistaken. Per usual.
Double Down using the Merton strats and nuking Go-Go in the process at this point here. So he did a double Bahamut on that one, which was nice. Just throwing out Merton at this point, trying to heal up, keep Mog alive as best as possible at this point. Definitely got the tools there. Double Down also. Golden Shocker Go-Go down on both sides. But this is interesting. Go-Go and Mog are in both Double Down and Golden Shocker's fights against Goddess here. They both work out the same way. Funny how that works.
So Zelfer found out the bad news, and he's taking a reset to better prepare for this fight. Schwantz is in a position to possibly get through this because he hasn't reset out, and he's got some fixed dice. Fixed dice will pierce Magimaster's high defense and its very comically high evasion. Golden Shocker is through his Goddess fight, but so is Double Down.
The nice roll, 6k damage there.
Yep. That 1 fight lead is still the gap between Double Down and Golden Shocker. But again, Lock has been in his bag. That Lock may be the difference maker on the various tiers of Final Kefka. We'll see.
Yep, it's going to be coming down to the wire. This one, depending on how things. A lot of weird things can happen during the climb, depending on what happens. Do we have Mute in our bag at this point? Do we have Siren? I don't even know if we picked that up. I have not even seen all the espers we've been able to tear through. I guess we'll have to wait and see until we get to the fight at this point. But that tier 2, if you're not prepared for it, can get out of hand very quickly.
No, it definitely can. Kudos to Double Down for putting the Moogle Launch Arm on for this side of the party. Justin Atma weapon stands up. Stampus win him in the final boss, and Golden Shocker's on his switches at 106.30.
So Zelfer was the only one who found Sabin, so it was the only one who did Collapsing House and is the only one who has Golem.
Very
So
interesting.
we have our calmness protection there, which is nice. And the best one you can possibly get, too, no less.
It's possible one of the others found like Fenrir, but as far as I know, like the Golem is only for Zelfer at this point. Correct.
Yeah, that makes sense. So we're looking at Golden Shocker going to be starting the final climb here. Let's say around like the 107, 25, 30 mark at this point.
I'm going to direct you to the Schwanz's 27 screen. Looks like he's giving a little plug to us.
Oh, man.
You love a good company,
I
man.
saw the rename card come out, man.
FF6 Worlds Collide, I think, is the message he was trying to send to us. And FF6 Worlds Collide is the official website of Worlds Collide. What all can you find there, Retro?
Oh, you can find lots of goodies there. ff6worldscollide.com. Join the Discord. Roll up some seeds. Get the seed of the week there also. Learn how to play the game. But more often than not, friends, you want to click on the Discord link. Join in. Say hello. We're all a wonderful, jovial bunch that's happy to get you up and running here. And we got races going on all the time. Events going on all the time. Ultras League, the premier league that we have right now in Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide, but there's always stuff going on, more than just this, especially during the off season. So get in, join the fun, and you yourself could be racing here on the big stage.
So a fun game we do like to play when our first runner reaches the final fight is how long will this final fight take them? Get your predictions in the chat. For reference, a very quick final Kefka fight could be somewhere around 8 minutes. One on the longer side could be last around 10 to 12 minutes. Golden Shocker does have a decent amount of offense underneath his belt, but not all the pieces of the puzzle, so keep that in mind in predictions. Personally, I'm going to go with a 9:59 on the dot.
9:59. I'll say he's got some good chops. I'll say probably about a 9:20.
Okay, we got till the end of Tier 1, which he is working his way through now, to get your predictions in, to be eligible to win the grand prize, and there is no grand prize, I'm just kidding.
Oh, it's just bragging rights and that feel-good feeling.
Yeah, if you get it on the dot, Retro will shake your hand.
I will fly out there, give a tip of the hat, shake your hand, and then turn around and fly right back home.
All right, Golden Shocker through his Tier 1 while Double Down begins his. Schwantz is through his Atma weapon fight that Zelfer is working his way through as well. So that's still anybody's race, ladies and gentlemen.
I guess we're going to find out if we have Mute in our pocket here or not on Golden Shocker, because that's one of the first things we want to do is shut him down before he starts getting out of hand. And we do have Siren, it looks like. Fantastic.
All right, so Golden Shocker is on Tier 2. Tier 2 is the real Scrooge of the 7 Seas, I would say. There are 4 parts to him. Three of these 4 parts are really, really annoying. Unfortunately, we do have some ways to navigate through some of them, neutralize them, which the Golden Shocker is showing off with his Siren summon. Magic on the far left is susceptible to mute, so you mitigate some of the annoying magic attacks he will do. And now we've just done the 3 tiers we need to worry about.
Yep, and now we have Ice on Tiger before that gets out of hand and could zombie some folks. You can use Doom on Tools or Machine right behind the purple guy or blue guy there, Hit, who just does all physical attacks. But the Machine can do some pretty nasty things, but susceptible to instant death, taking care of that. So Golden Shocker has all the right moves here. Going to be able to get through here, no problem whatsoever. And we see Double Down moving up to Tier 2 as well.
Yeah, that was a very fast Tier 1 for Double Down, so he's making up some ground. Remains to be seen, and my prediction will come true. Tier 3 is when the leapfrog will happen.
It's very possible. I mean, Locke swinging that VK with low health right now, so if he's able to provide enough protection to get around that 10 hits, that would be ideal here. Golden Shocker still pushing through. Plenty of health on deck for everybody at this point. So tier 3 should be pretty comfy. And again, big shouts to Golden Shocker taking Umaro the full distance from start to finish. You'll love to see it.
Yes, indeed. Schwantz getting a little bit of the business from Goddess. Zelfer having a better go of it this time with his Magi Master fight. A little rearrangement of the furniture sometimes can go a long way with some of the tougher fights. Oh my goodness, that lock is doing 32k a turn. That is a very, very large number.
Yeah, that is not a small number. That is a large number. What a concept. I mean, you were talking about this fight goes on for a while. That it's a DPS race, and clearly Double Down has the tools available at this point to really push through it. So maybe that tier 3 leapfrog may be coming. Maybe that may have had some prophetic moment there, Glue.
All right, again, to interject one more time, I'm going to draw your attention to Schwantz's screen. We really need to pay attention when he forms his party for the final Kefka fight because he's trying to send us a message. I don't know what that message could be. I haven't decoded it yet, but we'll see here.
It could be anything.
Could be anything. A Golden Shocker, I think I may be wrong. I think Double Down has officially passed Golden Shocker. They are both on their death tiers. But as you see, that lock is cooking.
Oh, I can smell it, Drinks Glue, that's for sure. But look at this. Okay, so first one to shake, Golden Shocker pushing up, but not by much. The Double Down has really closed the gap.
Yeah, I stand mistaken, but the good news is my prediction I've been saying all along might come true because we're on to tier 3, and Double Down has closed the gap.
Okay, now, do we have any calmness protection in the bag other than that we know that Zelfer has Golem? Did we find anything else? I didn't see all the different espers that we had at this point here, but that's the big question about how tier 3 is going to go. Do we have to rely on luck? Do we just block the calmness, or do we just hope for the best?
Big question here for Double Down is he's right on the heels of Golden Shocker. He just has to push. He just has to push this baby on out. So let's see if he doesn't get a little tentative here. If he keeps up the pressure.
Jeez.
Oh, no.
Tier 3 even helping, no less. The W win getting locked down to 22 health. Oh, here comes the VK.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Aim up. Aim up. Oh, no. Oh, no. We're in the danger zone.
It should be okay. It should be okay. Oh, we're just going for it. We have no protection. Just swing.
Yep, I love it.
Oh, the block! Oh my god!
And
wow!
Stated, Double Down has taken the lead. Golden Shocker, kudos to you for holding on to it for that long, but unfortunately, there was an unstoppable monster on your heels.
Wow, man! Double Down flexing.
Golden Shocker is now just shark bait, and the shark is ready to eat, and that shark is Double Down.
Wow, Lock the MVP of that one. Just absolute monster of attack and defense, and just clutching that out and being able to walk into this. We're probably going to skip Fallen 1 here if Lock can get this off right away.
Just a quick press of the X button and the A button, and one more combination of that, and we are good to go.
Yeah, that's a substantial amount of damage we push at this point here. It could be a great time too on the table potentially here.
Oh no! What are we doing here? What are we doing here? We trying to eat a Merton? An Ultima?
Hyperdrive coming out. Oh, there goes the lock!
Mission abort!
Wow! The overkill.
For this race, we should be fine, but that's going to cost Double Down a couple seconds versus other Mega Elixir competitors. Oh,
wow!
No, this is what are we doing here? Did we forget the script, Double Down? You know this.
Schwantz still going in with the renames, by the way. I just saw that.
All right, that's GG's for Double Down. He's got his command off. Now it's just a matter of the official time.
Waiting for that crack boom.
1:15:23. So
beautiful. Love to see it.
GG's to Double Down. Again, ladies and gentlemen, pay attention to the Schwantz 27 screen here. He's going to have a special message for you.
Yeah, kudos to Schwantz for putting through the rename cards and actually renaming folks out there. But Double Down with a hell of a clinic there, coming back there with Golden Shock being the first one, and also Gonna be getting through this fight here momentarily. Looking like Zelfer moving on to tier 2.
Yeah, Schwantz on his switches. Golden Shocker trying to wrap up this tier 4. The end comes beyond walking the point. So Golden Shocker just needs to pour out some damage here to push this fight over the edge.
Oh, come on, Yeti. Let that be the kill shot. No, it wasn't. Oh, Goner coming out, man.
Oh no. This is the danger zone for Golden Shocker.
Oh, look at the Schwantz. That is so much swag. Look at that.
2 L's.
2 L's though. We didn't have the room.
There are some requirements, but. And we'll be joined by Double Down in just a moment. There he is. Let us. Does that work in here? Hey, it does work. You can drag him up here against his will. Double Down, if you can hear me. GG's, my dog.
Thank you. Thanks for dragging me against my will. What a way to finish a race.
Anytime. That was a very thrilling ending. When you entered the tower, Golden Shocker was 2 boss fights ahead of you. He was just on his middle line, but you would not be denied. You caught him at tier 3, and then you slammed the door shut on him on tier 4. What did you think of your endgame setup there? Because you had no problem with Final Kefka whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, it was harrowing. I was really worried that I was going to lose Mr. Locke to Calmness, but he had the will to win there. He just clutched it out. No, I was really stressed out, but then I think I just underestimated how much bloody damage that Locke was spitting out. I shouldn't have been so worried, because I think that was one of the faster Kefka fights I've had. That was wonderful.
Yeah, GG, they're double down. Absolutely incredible clinic to put on that one, and also rounding up your checks there at the very end to actually get the skip was kind of nice. I think you did the auction play, the double auction play, and getting that back to back was
about
huge.
RNG.
I mean, so I was worried because the first auction was not. So I almost left too early, because the first auction was the 50,000 thing, which was not a check, and I almost left. And I looked at my tracker. I thought, that stupid thing still says 19. So I went back and I started.
Oh, did we lose audio there?
We lost him.
Oh shoot!
He walked the plank. There we go. We can hear you.
There, you're back.
Okay. Yeah. So I was worried that for a second that auctions weren't checks, but they are checks. I just had to get the one that was actually a check, and then, yeah, the whole time I was just waiting for an imp robot to make me look like an idiot, but it didn't, fortunately.
So I'm going to throw this out there. If you had gotten, if your RNG was not good and you got the imp robot or something like that, this race would have been basically a toss-up between you and Golden Shocker at this point. It was one RNG roll away at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. One imp robot, you're exactly right. An imp robot's like a minute, or just about a minute. I probably would have lost to an imp robot, which would have been really annoying.
For sure. But congratulations, GG. Well done. Any closing remarks or feelings about this?
No, I don't think so. I mean, it was a tricky seed. I thought I was making a lot of blunders early on. I thought my sort of tunnel visioning on Merton would be a mistake, and I think it played out okay. And yeah, no complaints. But if folks out there haven't joined Ultros League yet, you still could join. It's a little late in the party, but you still could get in there. So if you haven't joined already, go ahead, www.ultrosleague.com. That's a website. You can go there.
Yeah, I guess we should also clarify then too, friends, you're not going to be running up against these legends here right out of the gate. You got to work your way up there. You're starting Tonic, go to Potion, Elixir, and Mega Elixir across multiple seasons if you're able to finish high enough. So if you're like, oh my goodness, I don't know anything about this, I don't feel comfortable racing just yet, don't worry. You'll get put in the Tonic division. You can learn there with people of similar skill. It's a great time. Fully recommend, hands down. But again, congratulations, and GG, double down. What a great run. And second place, Golden Shocker coming up. You were leading the charge for such a long time, and that Magimaster fight really drug you down, unfortunately. But how do you think the run went overall?
I mean, it was pretty good for what it was. It wasn't a great run overall, but also that was the only way I was getting through that Magimaster fight, is using reflex strats and just powering through it. I mean, unfortunately, I had Umro there, so I had to do it the slow way, but could have done worse, I guess, is kind of the overall feeling on it.
So, Golden Shocker, we mentioned that this is your first run of your first run go in Mega Elixir. What with that in mind, what are you doing differently than you would in past seasons of Local League, or just in casual runs in general, knowing the heavyweights that you're going up against now?
I don't know if I do anything differently, to be completely honest. Like, I definitely didn't like go out of my way to take any risks of any sort. I tried to play it pretty straight. Just I wanted to get a sub 120, a decent time. Put something on the board that just starts the season, which I basically did. I mean, I'm as happy as I could be with the time. I mean, it's a little above my average, but still, it's still a pretty good time overall. So I'm pretty happy with what I did.
Did you feel any pressure, or was it any different running this on the big stage for an official seed versus, running on your own?
I mean, the last like 2 or 3 restreams I've been on, I ran like the worst runs I've ever ran. So, with that being said, I mean, I've done well in restreams before, so I wasn't too worried about it. It was more of a just a first run of the season, trying to do well. Coming into Mega Elixir, knowing that it's going to be really stiff competition. Just a lot of great Worlds Collide players. I can't say enough about how great everybody in Mega Elixir is. There was some conversation the other day about what's the group of death. It's Mega Elixir. Like, let's not forget how good all the crazy talented people are in Mega Elixir. So, no, I'm thrilled with how everything went. Obviously wish I, had a little bit better time, but still, nothing to really complain about. I feel like that was a good run. It was a few minutes that I lost here or there that I probably should have back, but can't complain with that start. Those characters, could have been a lot worse than what it was.
No, I think you played it extremely well, and also big shout-outs from me and Glue for carrying Umaro the full distance. Definitely a big fan of that play, and was glad to see him make it all the way through.
I mean, had to do that. I mean, there was no doggo, so had to do the Umaro play, just for Glue.
I appreciate it, my dog. And before we let you go, Golden Shocker, is there anything else you want to talk about before we let you go?
No, just thanks for putting on the restream. Definitely appreciate all the folks in the community that support, and looking forward to next week, next few races, see how things go. Thanks again for everybody.
You bet,
Thank
my
you.
dog. Appreciate you.
All right, and joining us in the booth again, Zelfer, wrapping up in 3rd position here on this race. Zelfer, welcome in. How do you feel about that race?
Oh man. Kind of felt like a disaster. But you know what? We got past it. We did okay. And you know what? I'm just gonna take this, and hopefully we don't start the way we started in this one for quite a long time.
Yeah, we can write this one off later on in the season. So what did you think about opening it up the seed and seeing Umaro, Gogo, and Mog staring you in the face?
Oh man, I really had to take a second to be like, no, this is not happening right now. But yeah, and then I was just like, oh great, now what do we do? That was not the combination of 3 characters I really wanted to see all together, at all. But it all kind of worked out, maybe.
If you could switch out one of the 3 characters for any one character, who would you switch out, and for who?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Man, I mean, if I knew how the rest of the seed was going to go, I'd switch out Gogo and put in, I don't know, anybody else. Probably like, somebody with like fix and counter checks, probably, just so it was easy to get levels early. So maybe like Sabin, even though I don't always like to see him, or maybe Gal, just to do like Serpent Trench. Otherwise, I'd probably be like, Umaro, you kind of need to go. And just give me, I don't know, like Locke, because Locke can equip any weapon, so I know he'll stay on, and eventually he'll get something nice.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, I don't want to distract from the interview here, but I want to just point this out really fast. Schwantz got double calmness going into Tier 4. Two of his people were taking a nap walking into this one. You're pretty rough at this point. My goodness.
Yeah, we're not really sure what FF6 World Cyan Yamaru means, but nevertheless, we'll see if he can finish this Kyle Kefka fight. Zelfer, what are your thoughts on this season? Are you doing anything up from seasons past that you're trying new?
Yes, I thought I'd take a little bit of extra time to kind of like start peeking a little more things. You guys saw me look at the Coliseum and like try to get like monster in the boxes, take a few fixed encounters, just kind of hoping for like, to get like that super boost to try to like, go forward and completely crush everything. None of that panned out today at all. So it did not work today, but I'm going to keep on trying. And I think every once in a while it's going to, I'm going to find something nice and then it'll be fantastic. Mostly because whenever I do the practice races, somebody else is like, oh, I found a Luminous Coliseum. And I'm like, oh, I didn't even check. Or someone would be like, I got the offering over here. And I'm like, what? I didn't even check that. So I was like, you know what? Today I'm going to check. It didn't happen. But next to maybe, and then sometime later on in the season, there's going to be a time where I'm like, hey, I did this thing, guys. And everybody's going to be like, wow, I wish I did it. Maybe. We'll see.
Oh, no. Oh, so Swans took a hyperdrive to the face and wiped at Final Kefka. My goodness.
Yeah, we'll see if he's going to give it another go here or take the L. Looks like he's going to give it another go.
Just trying to fight off, the opening season at this point here. Doesn't want to take the forfeit out of the gate. Going to put up a time anyway. Truly the spirit of General Leo in this man.
Yeah, and then Zelfer, before we let you go, is there anything else you wanna plug? You wanna talk about before we send you on your way?
I'm just gonna say thanks to SpeedGaming for hosting us. Always a pleasure to be here, and thank you guys for kind of hosting everything and setting up the restream and doing all that fun stuff, and talking and saying a whole bunch of cool stuff. I'm sure for the whole time. Yeah, it's just all of us working together, kind of like just gets to create this thing. That's kind of nice. So thank you guys for doing everything.
Well, thank you for being part of this and being on the big stage here with us. Without you, there would be no Raise Zelfer, so thanks for being here. And it's like it's a community or something. We're all working together towards a common goal. What a concept.
Oh, yeah. That is.
But no, Zelfer, thank you so much. Great play overall. Congratulations on getting third on that one after having a rough start to work with and just overcoming all the obstacles to throw you. Still, a 122, fantastic time. All things considering on this one here, and we hope to see you again, and best of luck on the future weeks here in Megalixer.
Thank you very much. Have a good night, guys.
You too, friend. All right, friends, back to the action here at the Schwantz. Take two, FF6, WorldsCollide.com, the full team. It's not FF6, Worlds Cyan Umaro. We're hoping that no more double calmness is going to happen here, but Glue, it looks like that what we said earlier here, that Zelfer was the only one that actually had that golem for the calmness protection. Everyone else just kind of just letting it ride and hoping for the best here. Unfortunately, Schwantz dealing with the worst.
Yes, sometimes you can get away with letting RNG just decide who calmness takes or who it doesn't or who can block it. And sometimes it takes who you don't want it to and you don't need it to. So that just kind of got the better of Schwantz there. Nothing you can do about that, but give it another go.
And once again, shoutouts to Honeydew. Just block the calmness forehead. Sometimes is the only play you have available to you.
Yeah, so what do you think Schwantz is going to do differently this time with his tower or his Final Kefka descent?
Not die. Probably is going to be the best play.
That's probably a good
here.
Start. Not to walk the plank at least.
No, at this point, I mean, I think he's working with the tools that he's been given and what he has available to him at this point. There's clearly lots of offense that's available at this point. We're swinging some pretty big weapons for decent damage at this point, but man, Locke just got punched in the face for 1800 there. That was pretty rough from what I just saw. I mean, that's oof.
Yeah, and unlike Double Down's Locke, he does not have the Valiant Knife, so he does not want to be punched in the face very often, if at all. He wants to stay nice and tidy with his high HP totals.
Yeah, and since he's swinging a Ragnarok, that does not have the benefit of Illumina, where you can swing from the back row and do the same amount of damage. You've got to be out there in front, so, you have, in Tier 1 and Tier 2, you have two very scary physical beasts to deal with on that one that can do a lot of damage when you're standing up front, if your name isn't Umaro. But that being said, we saw that the power that he's dealing with, and hopefully he can carry Locke the whole distance. But also, hopefully he can carry his entire team the full distance, because Locke survived last time, but unfortunately was taking a nap while Mog was left jumping. He did jump a Havoc wing, which was pretty cool to see that happen, but then ate a hyperdrive right after that.
Yeah, so Schwantz on the tier 2. We'll see if he does not get keel hauled this time through these various tiers. You don't know what that one is, do you?
No, that's a good one, man. I bow to you. I concede. You have truly shown me, who the captain is.
Yeah, so tier 2 beginning here for Schwantz. Outcomes mute. We mentioned earlier. Magic is at level mute. So now one of these tiers is neutralized. Another part of the tiers you see as Schwantz is trying to cast Doom is that the tools part, right in the middle of your screen, is susceptible to instant death. So if you have the right gear to navigate some of these tiers, you can essentially knock out half this fight right at the beginning.
Yeah, he's having to dig through a little bit there. Nice proc from the Illumina going down there on Tiger, trying to get rid of that as quick as possible at this point. Lots of spells available, looks like. I think he even saw Ultima in there, but not enough mana to cast it, unfortunately.
Now, sometimes with the more expensive cells on this fight, if you don't have ethers, you don't have Xyz through the elixirs, the good stuff. We do have the Mega Elixir from the Magic Master fight we can bust out in case of emergency. But you don't want to use that really this early on tier 2. You want to save that for a little later on if you can.
Yeah, not to mention we have those Merton strats available to us here at this point, so no slouch on that. Hey, look, we have a VK getting swung.
Oh, you switched out the Ragnarok.
Nope.
I'm not opposed to trying something new the second go of it.
I mean, honestly, just kind of go from there. I think he would have been okay if he didn't get double calmness. I mean, basically cutting your offensive ability in half there is pretty rough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we're at the halfway point of this tier 2 fight based on what's left alive.
Yeah, I'm kind of concerned though. Here come the 10 hits. Oh boy.
Ooh, no. The good news is, no matter what this does or doesn't do, we have a couple turns to get our feet back under us.
Oof. Yeah, there goes Locke, at least on that one. Thankfully, not the end of this one, so routed it in such a way that it's not game over for Locke as we move on to tier 3. So he's able to bring him back, which is great. A nice proc once again going up against Magic. Celis. Health is a bit low for Go-Go.
Yeah, but Magic's been muted. He can't damage us past... Well, he can fractional damage us, but fractional damage attack as one of his counterattacks that are coming up can not kill us, but it will hurt us quite a bit. But we will safely make it through this tier with 4 characters alive.
Yep, that's where we're at here. So now we're just going to hope for the best, that we have enough damage to push through tier 3, avoid those Meteo counters, and also get through those calmness, which was the big barrier here going into tier 4, and then cheer on Schwantz as he goes through tier 4 for us at this point, and trying to get through the first seed of the season here and start off with that. But back again, take care of Lady there in the back, absorbs all magic damage, so basically anything non-elemental or physical is your friend. Got exactly 9,999 HP. Uses Pro Wind, can also revive, sleep. Just pretty nasty. You just want to get rid of it as quick as possible. Here comes I like the Osmos strats to grab some MP there. That's always very, very useful.
Yeah, great heads up play on what you got to use everything you have available to us, and sometimes you got to get creative. You don't cast Osmos a lot, but when you need it and you have it, it comes in handy.
Yeah, it could definitely work in a pinch. And I mean, Final Fantasy VI gives you a lot of tools, and I'll say hands down, if you sit back and only ever played the vanilla game of this, and like, you know what, I like this game a lot, and I think I know a lot about it. you know nothing until you dig into the randomizer. You'll get in situations you never thought were possible, and using things you never used during the vanilla game just to get through. So I will say hands down, this is my favorite game of all time. I've loved it ever since I played it first, and the randomizer has given me a newfound appreciation for everything in this, and shown me so many wonderful situations you'd never see while playing the vanilla game. So again, highly recommended. Definitely get involved with us here, friends. And yeah, just like Schwantz's name say, ff6worldscollide.com. 2 L's, of course.
Fire in the hole for Schwantz. Out comes Meteo. He pushed this phase of tier 3 a little too far, so now he's gonna take a little fire. But luckily, we'll get locked back up, and we'll see if we can navigate through this.
Yeah, fingers crossed on this one here. Mog going up to the top rope. Gonna be coming down there hopefully a couple of times. Meteor coming out again right after getting lock up. Unfortunately, no blocks on this one. Oh, but it missed, thankfully.
Oh no.
Oh no, the
bueno.
double. Two quick ones.
That's a severe flogging right there.
Oh, that's rough. That was a complete broadside bombardment.
Yeah, but lock back up. So that was a Mito counter. So he could potentially act here real fast, but no chances taken by Schwantz. Out comes the Ultima, which should
yep, big blue.
5k damage. This is over. And that does
there it is. Okay, calmness. Oh, lock going down. There's one. The double again, and it's two. Back to back, the double calmness. You've got to be kidding me. It's just ff6.com now.
Oh, that's rough.
Oh, just salt in the wound.
Oh, that. You really didn't want to have two characters feed the fishes back-to-back times on that one.
All right, so what are we gonna have this time? We had FF6 World Sign Umaro, so it's gonna be what? ff6signumaro.com.
Oh, I'll do what the internet tells me to do. Let's go see if that's a real website.
Oh no! Yeah, someone's gonna run off to a registrar right now. My goodness. As an infosec professional here, friends, please don't go to that website. I can't vouch for its safety at this point, but let's have a good laugh about it.
Good news, it is available if you want to claim the domain.
Oh, jeez. Anywho, back to the actions here for Schwantz. I'm so sorry, man. Oh,
yeah, that's a shame because Schwantz is the nice guy.
So, again, I guess we should talk about this real fast while we have a moment here. Again, huge shout-outs to Joker Mage, turning the knobs behind the scenes, running the stream for us here. And PB&J, please, the unsung MVP, the tracker extraordinaire, helping us out while we're able to focus here, with the mouth sounds. And but the Schwantz does so much for the Worlds Collide community with orchestrating so many streams and races, and it definitely puts in so much time and work behind the scenes. So again, big shouts to him, and you hate to see it as far as the calmness happening.
Yeah, Schwantz is gonna have to batten down the hatches here and really toughen up if he's gonna get through this on the second attempt. But only one character alive. Luckily, FF6 has that Moogle or. Snow Muffler equipped, so the physical attacks won't hurt him too much. But he is always a Havoc and Wing away, or Hyperdrive away, from being in danger.
Man, the rare tier 3 spells coming out from Cafe. You typically don't see those for whatever reason. Usually like skedaddle past that, but right now we're just kind of grasping at straws and hoping for the best here. These are some turbulent waters that we have found ourselves in here, Glue.
Yeah, up goes FF6 again. Another Bolt 3. Ooh, fortunately we're able to protect ourselves against that one.
The Merton strats.
Yeah, 3,800. It's inching towards the finish line.
Hyperdrive again, my goodness.
Yeah, he's got to get Mog back up.
He has one Phoenix down left, my goodness.
No.
Our hopes here are dwindling. Can Schwantz off the back foot get through this? The end comes beyond chaos. We're gonna have to jump the goner.
Yep. Up goes Mog. Out comes Merton. I think it's Mog is probably gonna land before Merton.
Yeah, I think so too at this point. But oh no, look at this! Perfect jump over the goner.
Yeah. Now if we can just get the 6.25% chance to happen 3 times in a row, we got this baby in the bag.
I love him trying to run away from the goner. That is one of the best things I think I've ever seen. Oh,
ooh,
entertaining to the very end. My goodness, is Schwantz going to go for the triple, or is this going to be a forfeit?
That Havoc Wing actually didn't do as much damage as you thought it would, but it didn't matter because we had 300 HP. But good news is that was not a max damage Havoc Wing based on that Snow Muffler.
Oh, so the forfeit has come out for Schwantz. It's waving the white flag. I don't blame him in the slightest. That was absolutely brutal. But the double back to back, friends. Oh, wait a minute. I stand corrected. Unforfeited. Putting on a show. Putting on the Ritz. Can we do it? Third time the charm. Let's get it.
Yeah, one more attempt here from Swans to get through this. What do you think here? Oh, he's not actually going through it. He's just speeding through
Oh, okay.
it. And speak of the devil.
I was hoping we'd get a 6 for 6 on calmness here.
Oh, Schwantz, you're breaking my heart, friend. The double. By the way, I was commenting about this though. The you holding the run button for Go-Go during the goner had me rolling. My goodness. Just run from the goner. I love it.
Yeah, that's the coolest looking spell in the game for sure. But Go-Go's not fast enough, in spite of the fact that their name is Go-Go. You'd figure that Go-Go would be fast, but clearly not. So.
Oh, that was a wild ride, but hey, at least this week don't count.
Yeah, I was hoping to, I was joking before in the race room that, hey, I've never forfeited my way into Mega Elixir before, but this is a good start, so there we go.
Now all the pressure's off? Question mark at this point? Like you've already had the forfeit happen, so now you got the bad one out of the way early.
No, it gets way worse. It means I can't screw up ever again. No, basically, I thought that I was going to be. I think I spent a little too long looting, but I did get, my jumping Mog and my 2 Ragnaroks in the Colosseum. Little did I know that there'd be sharp sticks everywhere in the seed, and I didn't really need to get those 2 Ragnarok in the Colosseum. And then the innocuous Valiant Knifer offering in the weapon shop, and I'm like, whatever, it doesn't matter, I'm not using it anyway. And of course, the offering would have come in really handy against Goddess and Magimaster in Kefka's Tower, so of course I chose poorly. That's just the way it goes here.
Mm-hmm. What do you feel like you gotta do going forward to get your sea legs back underneath you?
Don't spend so much time looting. I think I looted too much because I didn't have an answer for anything really. My squad was Morph, Mog, Umaro, and Question Mark, right, for a long time. I debated swapping in Cyan for Go-Go, because Cyan could use the Illumina, but Cyan was already like 11 levels below where I was, and I'm like, nah, it's way too late for this. And I guess I was too stubborn in going with, well, I got Merton early, hopefully no one else did, because they didn't find this Rage Ring, or they didn't go through Zone Eater to get this second Thunder Shield. Let's lean on Merton as much as I possibly could, right? So I think those 2 things probably definitely need to improve on, because had I not eaten the Calmness of Death, I still would have been in 4th place, I think, for this particular race. And looking at the other times in the room, it would not have been all that well in with the rest of the crowd that's already finished their race either. So, those are 2 things I definitely want to do next time. I hoped I get points for being creative for how I had to deal with the statue bosses at the end. Wow, that was.
We'll ask Double Down. We can make an amendment.
Yeah, right. And I used rename cards. I automatically get +1 Ultra Sleek points for that, right? Right?
Of course.
Question mark? Yeah.
Yeah, we actually looked it up, by the way. ff6cyanumaro.com is available if you want to purchase the domain.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just put this screenshot here of Locke, way out in front, or maybe better yet, since Retrofile got a kick out of it, just Go-Go running away from Goner. That'll be the loading screen.
Oh, it's so good, man. Just like Goner going off. Like maybe I could avoid if I run away. Oh, I loved it. I absolutely I need to use that more often when things are going bad.
Yeah, so there is essentially no way other than hopes and prayers that I was going to finish with just 2 characters. Normally, you can get away with 3, right? So that's why I say, well, if you don't have Calmness Protection, hopefully it's only 1 character, but there's no way I could have done that final Kefka fight with 2, even if I picked my 2 best characters, right? Which I think happened on the first try, because I had Locke and Go-Go, right? Or, Yeah,
you had ff6n.com.
Yeah, so I lost access to Ultima when Locke died on the second time around, so I was like, well, I guess I'm not going to be doing that much damage this time. So it is what it is. It's just quite unfortunate. I thought that, you know, a little bit extra looting and shopping at the beginning might have paid off by having at least builds to carry me forward, but sometimes the seed will just give you everything and you just have to go do stuff, right? That's sort of what happened here.
Yeah, you also had a very linear start, as did everybody at this point. Just opening the seed and seeing, you know, Umaro, Gogo, and Mog staring you in the face. I mean, that kind of set the tone for the entire season, huh?
Yeah, when we were messing around before the race started, and I think we were waiting on Zelfer, and I know Zelfer really does not like the Kefka at Narsh check, so I said, I hope this is a Kefka at Narsh seed, just to punish you, Zelfer, and it almost was. So maybe I should stop asking for things, and I won't wish for them. Be careful what you wish for, right? That's the saying. So,
yeah, indeed. All right, Schwantz, any final closing thoughts here before we wrap up for the evening?
Yeah, so I want to thank Joker Mage for setting up the restream, PB&J Plez for doing the tracking, you, Retrophile, and Drinks Glue for doing the commentary on tonight's stream. Can't have the races without the staff, so really appreciate you guys hosting us, and hopefully we'll do this again soon next time.
Absolutely.
Sounds great.
Awesome. Catch you all later. Peace.
Thank you, Schwantz. All right, friends. Well, thank you so much for joining us for this broadcast.
I do have to do one last announcement.
Go ahead, Joker.
All right, so I did lose track of the exact count because I was doing actual restreamer stuff. But if I was going to give you guys a letter grade, I'd say Glue, you get an X as an X marks the spot, and Retrophile, you get an R.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Beautiful. All right. Well, Retro, do you have anything you'd like to give a shout out to before we head on about our way?
Shout outs to FF6 World Cyan Umaro. Definitely join the community. FF6WorldsCollide.com, friends. What a great time. Shout outs to our runners here for joining us for this evening at the highest level here, digging in and showing that, hey, even if you know this game inside and out, sometimes the RNG will just kind of turn you inside out on this one here. So it's unfortunate, but friends, hey, definitely join. You'll have a great time. And would love to have you here for it. But shouts to you, Glue. Always a pleasure to commentate alongside your friends. Always great to be here and watch some great races.
Yeah, you as well, my dog. And I do want to take a moment to point out that this Saturday at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, on our official Twitch, twitch.tv/FF6Cyan. No, excuse me, twitch.tv/FF6 Collide, we will be announcing a new event. What that event entails, if you've been following along in the Mobiles Chronicle, maybe you have some inclination on what that event is called, but nevertheless, tune in then and find out then.
Fantastic. Well, friends, I'm Retrophile TV. That's Drinks Glue. Joker Mage is your streamer, and PB&J, please, your tracker on this one. Friends, we'll see you again Wednesday here on SpeedGaming for more FF6 Worlds Collide action. Be well and be safe, everyone. We'll see you again soon.